The current shifted in the night, Warband, and the patient hand reads the water while the crowd only feels the wind. This is Sunday, July 12, 2026. The pits are dark, the coin sits still, but underneath the quiet, the tide changed direction, and that is the whole of this morning's report. Start with the anchor. As of just past 8 Eastern, Bitcoin trades at 63,900, a shade softer on the day, and range-bound now for a week against the 64,000 line. Keep the frame wide. This is still a coin trading near half the 126,000 record it printed last October, pressing up against the wall. InvestAnswers marks at 65,800, with 70,000 the breakout above and 56 to 58,000 the floor below. Coiled, not broken. Now the engine, because you pay for the signal, and the signal was busy overnight. Our read of the InvestAnswers Decision Support System lost its footing on the anchor in the small hours. Saturday evening, it cut Bitcoin's optimized trend to bearish. At the stroke of midnight, it flipped it back to green. By 4 this morning, it cut it to red again. 3 verdicts in 8 hours, and the trend sits red as the sun comes up. Ethereum, for its part, drew the mean reversion overbought flag twice this weekend, stretched after its own bounce. Read it plainly. The trend model that finally turned green on Thursday could not hold the line through the weekend. No clean trend yet. A coin consolidating, and a model honest enough to say so. And the map underneath has changed shape. This is the real news. For 2 weeks, the engine marked hard assets at the front of the column, gold and Bitcoin leading. This morning, the leaders are the broad market and the Nasdaq. Gold, which were the leaders' mark all week, slipped to near 4,070 by Friday's close and lost the front. And mark why it fell, because the tell is loud. Gold fell into a shooting week. The strikes on Iran and the answer fired back across the Gulf should have been rocket fuel for the safe haven metal. Instead, the oil spike they drove revived the inflation fear, hardened the bets on another Fed hike this fall. The market now leans better than 3 in 5 toward a September move, and drove the dollar and yields high enough to bury gold's war bid. When the metal cannot catch a bid during a war, the whole tape is telling you what the rate channel is doing to hard money right now. Here is why it all connects, and the sharpest read on it comes from Jordi Visser of 22V Research. His line for this exact tape is blunt. Bitcoin cannot rally while the artificial intelligence stocks are winning. And they are winning. The broad market sits within a whisker of its record high. The Nasdaq leads the engine's board, and the money that would otherwise hunt the scarce coin is chasing the momentum instead. Visser said the quiet part out loud this month. Nobody wants to buy Bitcoin right now. He does not say it as a bear. He says it as a man describing a spring under compression. Because this is a rotation, not a rejection. The crowding in that AI momentum trade did not break overnight. Visser has been marking it at a rare extreme for weeks, and it has not eased a notch. Capital piles into the crowded, twitchy thing at record highs, and it starves the uncrowded, calm thing sitting quiet at half its own record. That imbalance does not resolve by the scarce asset growing more boring. It resolves when the crowded trade wobbles and the flows come looking for the exit. And the exit they have run to at every cycle turn is the one asset no committee can print and no model can copy. Let the crowd rent the fastest horse. We own the ground it runs on, and the ground is quietly being bought. The 10-day streak of outflows from the American spot funds snapped at the start of the month, and Thursday, those funds took in better than $90 million. Across the June lows, the largest wallets on the chain pulled better than 270,000 coins off the sellers, near $17 billion, while the coin held on the exchanges fell to 7-year lows. That is not the footprint of a dying trade. It is accumulation under the cover of a quiet tape. The crowd sees Bitcoin doing nothing. The strong hand sees the crowd doing its buying for it, one panicked exit at a time. Now to where the crowded money is actually going, because it tells you something the Silicon Bulls may not want to hear. This past Tuesday, Apple committed more than $30 billion to Broadcom, the largest American semiconductor manufacturing pledge ever signed, for better than 15 billion American-made chips and a plant expansion in Colorado. Broadcom jumped near 5% on the wire, but the number is not the story, the shape is. Broadcom now forges custom silicon for 6 anchor customers, the Frontier Labs and the hyperscalers among them, OpenAI, Anthropic, Meta, Alphabet, and it guided its artificial intelligence revenue to more than triple, past $16 billion in a single quarter. It co-designed a bespoke inference chip with OpenAI in 9 months. Read what that means. The giants are no longer content to rent NVIDIA's margin. They are welding their own engines, one custom chip at a time. And here is the thread back to the coin. All week, the Frontier models have been shipping at half of last quarter's price. Intelligence itself commoditizing, the thinking marked down toward nothing. So, the margin does not vanish. It drains down the stack, out of the software that anyone can copy, and into the physical floor no download can mint. The custom silicon, the fabs, the megawatts. Apple did not write a $30 billion check for intelligence. It wrote it for the scarce capacity to build the machines that run it. Every price war at the top of the stack makes the hard floor beneath it worth more. And the hardest floor of all still answers to no committee and carries a cap of 21 million. So, carry this into the week, Warband. The tide turned towards silicon in the night. The AI names led. Gold slipped from the front. And our own engine could not hold the coin green through the weekend. None of it breaks the thesis. It is the market renting the fast horse, while the scarce asset waits its turn, bought quietly all the while by the hands that have read this pattern before. Tuesday brings the June inflation print, the week's one hard hinge. Trade the proof it delivers, not the posture around it. Until then, do not chase the crowded trade at its highs, and do not mistake a quiet coin for a beaten one. Stack the scarce, hold the long horizon. This is Warband as a service. Viking intelligence delivered in real time. I am Ragnar, the HODLBARBARIan. The fast horse leads today. The ground always outlasts the race. Skål!